Good morning and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a video because I've been busy working on what became a mammoth project. What started out as a fairy journal became two, and then my daughter wanted one, and then it became so big that I had to divide our two big ones into two each, so that was four, and then there was other things, other techniques that I wanted to try, and so I ended up with six. I've named this collection Gossamer Wings because I just think it's so beautiful. It incorporates more than just fairies. We've got butterflies, dragonflies, hummingbirds, you name it. And this one in particular, I am calling Things with Wings. It has a lot of leaves in it. I've got this beautiful leaf pendant, done some painted chipboard, and added some glitter onto the dragonfly here. We've got a beautiful removable tassel. I'll take that off in a second here. And tied with some sari silk from Sheila Gingerich at Boho Daydreams. This one is a very different style of journal for me, and I really enjoyed doing it. It's a little bit more casual, if you'd call it that. I did the cover out of an Amazon envelope package, which was very fun. I think next time, instead of covering it with paper, I would cover it with fabric. I think it would just have a nicer finish, nicer texture. Vintage buttons on the spine, sewn all around, of course. And here's a look at the tassel. Some beautiful beads. I took apart a bracelet and used the pieces on almost all of the journals, actually. Love these fiber tassels. Gorgeous. So fun. So this comes off, and we'll just put it over here. And I found out, I think it's called Maggie's Journals. I will include the details in the description below. She made these journal toppers. And what I did was I went ahead and made 6 of them, and then realized afterwards they're too big. So this one I kept as the topper for this particular journal, and the ones with the velvet covers, I've included them inside rather than on the top, and I just made smaller toppers. This is such a cool concept. I really like it, and it's removable as well. So we will undo the sari silk tie. So it comes off, and it is a double envelope. Well, actually this one isn't, the other ones are. And I just did a paper collage on the back, sewed around it, and once you take the sari silk ribbon off, you can tuck some treasures in here. So that is how this one works. Separate piece, completely removable. And let's have a look at Things with Wings. What I did here was I used butcher paper, and I decoupaged napkin or collage paper or tissue paper on each of the pages. And then because I had made my solution with Mod Podge a little too runny, they weren't sticking very well, so I had to stitch every single page, and that's fine. I think it gives it a really cool look. I also went around the edges with my gilding polish. If you're familiar with gilding polish, it's got a bit of a shine to it, makes it look a little bit more vintage. Got some sari silk ruffles throughout, some iridescent lace and charms. Used mostly the images from the Flower Fairies series by Cicely Mary Barker. So here we've got a pansy page and a bit of a die cut, very large tag, the stamping on the back, and there are pockets everywhere of all kinds of sizes. So this one is here, and it's a flip up. Rita Donnelly, I believe, was the creator of that a long time ago. And what I also did was I used a lot of the book pages from one of my Grimm's fairy tales books because I loved the texture of it. And I really wanted to create a bit of a backdrop where you can do some reading in between. Stamped on top. This side here has a bit of a belly band tuck spot, and I used the postcards from the Flower Fairies. This is the Tim Holtz collage paper, and I used some beautiful antique lace here and here, straddled the page there. This one is cardstock with just one of the images on top of it, and I did some gold embossing in the corner just for detail, and you can journal on the back. It's a tag. It's a bit of cheesecloth with a gold thread through it, some die cut leaves, and a gold embossed dragonfly. And here we have this beautiful Ranger mixed media powder. So cool, it's got a beautiful effect. Some sticker and some of Sheila at Boho Daydreams gorgeous embellished trims. Love it. This is also a tuck spot. Some more book page. And here we've got a tag from the Flower Fairies book. That one is not a pocket. Some hummingbird, napkin decoupaged on that side. Here I've got a vellum pocket of a bird's nest and a little fairy house. This is from the Heartfelt Creations called Woodland Fairies, Woodland something or other. I'll have that in the description as well. Just thought it was a cute idea for a little journaling card. This was some leaves I tried making myself. Not terribly impressed with them, but that's okay. I used them anyhow. Of course, you can write on all of the craft papers, and you could, if you wanted to cover this up, you could either do white gesso over top and then write, or just paper clip a piece of note paper to it. Here we've got a tag made out of Edith Holden book page, die cut, and one of the images, digital images I went with. There's also another pocket right there, so it's a double pocket here. And this is French dictionary page I used. What I did for the word sentiments here was I tea-dyed tissue paper and then stamped and embossed on them. Yes, it was a little tricky, but I really love the effect. It's similar to vellum, but it looks a little bit more vintage. And some stamping on the back. This, the cutouts here, I purchased a really cool new die set from the Junk Journal and Art Journal collection by Elizabeth Crafts. And all of the tags, a lot of the tags are compatible with this, and I really enjoyed using them. Some beautiful magnolia paper. And another silk ruffle with a wooden butterfly button. Here's the tag shape that I was mentioning to you. Got the hole at the top there. And I used the Tim Holtz entomology stamps. Put some Wink of Stella on the wings here. Used some more of the iridescent sparkly lace and a die cut. And we've got a little bug there. This is just some of the linen tape from Tim Holtz. This is a pocket here as well as the inside one here. And a butterfly washi sticker. Some more book page and some lace that I just tea-dyed. This is not vintage lace, but it looks like it could be. This is another technique I tried with tea-dyed paper. I stamped on it, and then I used the gilding polish just around the edges. Some washi tape. It's another pocket. A journaling card from the Graphic 45 collection. Some stamping on the book page. These are velvet leaves that I have had for so long. Finally found something that I could use them for. They just seem to be too big with a lot of the flowers that I have on hand right now. Just a little paper clip with some iridescent ribbon and some of Sheila's beautiful trim. And a fairy stamped on the back. Gorgeous napkin, decoupaged onto the paper. And here is a tag with some scrapbook paper, part of a scarf cut up. I use this scarf quite a bit. I love it. Love the color and love the sequins in it. Just with a fairy image layered on top. And here's a tuck spot with a little fairy. This is also a little corner tuck there. And you can have some extra space for journaling. Stamping on this side. This particular page I just love. I've got this beautiful, very woodland type meshy ribbon. I used some glitter tulle and then some vintage hand-dyed lace in the corner here. And a tag is made out of the decoupage napkin onto watercolor paper. What I do is I prepare the base probably in the evening, and then I paint on Mod Podge. Full strength, don't water it down. Let it dry overnight, and then the next day you iron on your napkin with parchment paper, so that if you use wax paper, it kind of tends to melt the wax paper. But the result is a completely smooth finish, which I love. And there's a lady whose video I watched a couple years ago doing this. I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but that's how I found out how to do that. Some beautiful collage paper and another double pocket. Some journaling cards. Graphic 45 Fairy dust, I think it is. And just a little sparkly tag here. This is a very cool technique. I did the frontage embossing powders with the gold speckles in there. Just beautiful. It's more napkin decoupage and another sari silk ruffle with a iridescent lace. Signature number 2, I got this amazing cellophane paper with some flowers at one point, and I had to keep it because it was so pretty. What I found was, because I had these 2 pages back to back, the threads from the silk kept catching on each other, and I thought I've got to put something in between but super thin. And I thought, you know what, I'll try this, and if it survives the sewing in the signature portion, then I'm just going to leave it. And it did, and it's great. I just think it's really funky. So it's just the clear cellophane with the leaves on it with the orange underneath it. Another wooden butterfly button and the iridescent lace. Love this napkin. Beautiful birds. And this is a belly band tuck spot with some more embossing, gold embossing. This is their new Fairy Wings collection in the Graphic 45. And a sweet little charm. Some more stamping. And just a tag. Just layered up with some book page and a digital image. This, of course, is another pocket here for some secret notes. And it's a flip down. This page is butterflies, and I've done a bunch of the die cuts with their silhouette die cuts on top of each other and just made a border out of it. Some more book page, and this is a beautiful tag with some book page in the back, digital image, some vintage green lace, a vintage green button with some fibers, and just some seam binding. And little toadstools stamped onto the back. Here we've got another bug from the Entomology collection. Just tea-dyed scrapbook paper and from the Once Upon a Springtime series in graphic 45. Another leaf, and some more velvet leaves, beautiful embellished textiles and trim from Sheila, and a large sparkly butterfly tag. That's from the Kaiser Craft, I think it's called Fairy Garden collection, paper collection. Some stamping, a fussy cut image from the Flower Fairies book, and some beautiful vintage lace at the bottom here, a die cut, and scrapbook paper, just layered up. Some more collage paper, decoupaged here. This is another one of the decoupaged napkin tags where I iron it on. This is a graphic 45 journaling card and just some line note paper. Double pocket here with a little baby fairy, some music paper. This is some of these stickers, transparent stickers, and a cute little journaling card. And one of these stitch slotted die cuts from Tim Holtz, and a Flower Fairy long tag. These are the mixed media dies from Sizzix. There's a whole set of them. I use those quite a lot too in these journals. I really love the shape, and of course some fussy cut fairies. I love this elderberry fairy. It's so beautiful. And French book page. And just some tags with dragonflies stamped on the back. It's the center of the second signature. Sorry, I didn't show the beads in the first one. The little fairy house and a fairy with some butterfly wings and beads. And show the ones from the first signature while we're at it. A little book charm that opens. You can put a sweet little note in there, or a photo, or whatever you would like. And this is a star, cut out star with a fairy sitting in it. And some of the beads from the bracelet I broke down. Repurposed. Got another sari silk lace combination ruffle. I left the stitching rough here, and a painted wooden butterfly button. Just a little charm, and on the back this one says, oh, it doesn't say anything. There's one that says created for you. Beautiful image on that postcard. I left these belly bands as belly bands for the tucks so that larger cards could fit in there when I was designing it. And here we've got a vellum double pocket with another one of the leaves with the gilded edge, and just some tags with fairies stamped on the back. These are stamps from the Once Upon a Springtime graphic 45 series. And I've got some of that scarf cut down just as trim here on this paper clip. Beautiful vintage lace, absolutely stunning. And this is a flip up here. Not going to undo it because it might snag. This particular tag has a vellum tab on the top, some die cutting, and the beautiful image and fairy stamped on the back. And a little wee tiny envelope with a fairy fussy cut on it. Has just a wee little music note paper spot there. And she just sits there. Some beautiful gold trim. And a flip up pocket with a dragonfly stamped on it. Here's another pocket for this tall tag. Just layered it up with book page and an image out of one of the Flower Fairy books. And I love this one. She's so beautiful. Sweet little fairies. And here's a journaling card made with scrapbook paper, covered with lace, layered up with an image and a label, and where possible I included the actual name of the fairies. This one's the ash tree fairy. Just a journaling card in the back. And some pink chiffon fabric that I just ripped into strips so I could use it for either journal closures or tag toppers. Decoupage napkin. And this is a triple pocket. There's a little tuck spot here, another one here, and then the journaling card in the back. Love this image. It's Graphic 45's Once Upon a Springtime. And a butterfly stamped in the back. And some leaves. These are, some of them are velvet textured. I think those were by Prima. I've had them for a very long time and finally able to use them in this project because I featured a lot of leaves and such in here. Some beautiful gold iridescent trim with the bling, and just a tag with the tracing paper, tea-dyed and embossed, gold embossed. Kind of like a periwinkle color. And beautiful decoupage napkin page. Piece of rainbow sari silk with a wooden butterfly button and a little butterfly charm. And that's it for things with wings. This is the first one in my series of Gossamer Wings Fairy collection. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my other ones. Coming soon.